This past week, I hit another awesome milestone, which is 1 full year of consistently making videos on YouTube. Monday, September 9th, 2019 was when I first started taking YouTube seriously. That's when I started posting multiple times a week and haven't stopped since. So to celebrate that, what I've done is I've looked back at all my past videos and everything that I've learned in this past year of making YouTube videos. And I'm gonna go ahead and give you my top 5 lessons, which means that if you normally find my videos pretty helpful, today's is gonna be absolutely awesome. So of course that means each of these lessons that I've learned is gonna be correlated with a certain video I've made, so I'll go ahead and link all of those down in the description below. And if you stick around to the end, I'm gonna include a little bonus for you, which is one that I've never actually talked about for some reason, so I'll probably make a video about that soon, but it's a topic that I think about every once in a while that helps me so much. So scrolling through all my videos, the first one that I found that was just truly life-changing, one that I still think about all the time until now, is the video about true self-confidence. So in this video, I talked about the 2 components of true self-confidence, and I talked about an abundance mentality and freedom from outcome. Basically what I meant by an abundance mentality is realizing that there are infinite possibilities in this world, and if something doesn't go your way one time, that's totally fine. Like, there are billions of other possibilities, and if you realize that, you'll be confident and you'll be happy. And then the other part was freedom from outcome. I think confidence, when you try to base it on the outcome of something, when you say, oh, if I win this, then I'm super cool, super confident, I'm gonna be the best. That's dangerous, because then if you do lose or it doesn't go your way or whatever the situation is, then you're gonna have a huge hit to your self-confidence. And so from there, we can say that true self-confidence isn't knowing that you're gonna win no matter what. True self-confidence is knowing that you're gonna be fine whether you win or lose. If you don't take anything else away from that video, just remember that quote. True self-confidence isn't knowing that you're gonna win no matter what. True self-confidence is knowing that you're gonna be fine whether you win or lose. The next video that I found super duper helpful was one that I actually just made totally on the spot. I had a different video planned, and then I just had this idea and I was like, whoa, I need to make a video about this right now. I just walked out in my backyard with my camera, my tripod, and just talked about it for like 5 minutes. And it turns out it's still something I think about to this day. And that was the one about asking yourself these 2 questions to make sure that you're always happy and productive. Those 2 questions were, what is one small thing I can do right now to get me closer to any of my goals? Now what this does is it keeps you being productive, because you think, oh, well, what can I do to get closer to being a DJ? Well, I guess I could download some more songs, maybe practice a little bit, and then before you know it, you end up recording a whole set because you just kind of stepped your way slowly into this thing, and then you gained this momentum and you did it. But then on top of that, make sure you're also always asking yourself, how can I make this fun? In the case of DJing, it's probably already fun, but you know what I mean. If, let's say, your goal is to have a clean house all the time, then you could say, okay, well, I'm gonna just like clean up this one little corner. And then once you start cleaning up that corner, start cleaning up everything else, you get that momentum I was talking about from the first question, but it's not that fun. So in order to make it fun, you could do something like put music and dance while you're doing it, or whatever you need to do to make it more fun. This way, like I said, you're always being productive because you're getting closer to one of your goals, and you're always having fun while you're doing it, which ties in to the entire basis of my channel, which is the idea of get shit done and love every step of the way. It's pretty wild to think that this video that I literally just came up with and went outside and recorded on an impulse almost ended up being the basis for my channel, which I guess that in and of itself is kind of a lesson. So that's an extra bonus. Moving on to the next video, it was the one about how to find your passion. And so of course the topic of finding your passion is super important, and you should probably go ahead and watch that entire video. But before you do that, just take away these 6 statements. This is the life-changing part about this video, and something, again, I still think about to this day. So all 6 of these statements start with do more of what? And so it's a way of trying to get you to find exactly what it is that you're passionate about, because I've found that when you do things that make this stuff happen, it's probably something you're passionate about. So those statements were, do more of what makes time fly by. Do more of what makes you not check your phone. Do more of what doesn't make you wonder what time it is. Do more of what makes you forget to eat. Do more of what you wish you were doing. And do more of what you would do if money were no object. And so basically, if you're doing something and you find that it's one of those things that, for example, makes you forget to eat or forget to check what time it is, then it's probably something you're passionate about. And this, of course, is because you're so invested in the activity that you just love that activity itself so much that you don't even go and think about things like food and what time it is, or if you have to make money or whatever. And that also closely ties in with the idea of flow, which I haven't really made a video about, but that is also super hugely important. Flow is just the idea of doing a task that's somewhat challenging, but not too challenging, that gets you kind of in the zone. When you get in that flow state, it makes life way easier. The next super important video was the one about the Taoist Farmer. So the story of the Taoist Farmer goes a little bit like this, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you the expedited version. There's a farmer who has a horse, and his horse runs away. All the neighbors come over and say, "Oh my God, that sucks, you have such bad luck." The farmer says, maybe. The next day the horse comes back, and not only did it come back, but it came back with a bunch of other horses. So now this farmer is pretty much rich. The neighbors are like, "Oh my God, you're so lucky, like you're rich now, you have all these horses." And of course the farmer says, maybe. The next day when the farmer's son is trying to train those horses, he actually gets kicked off of one and breaks his leg. And so the neighbors come over and they're like, "Oh my God, you're so unlucky." And the farmer says, maybe. And the next day the army comes into town recruiting any young men who are able to go into the army. And of course, since the son's leg is broken, he can't go into the war. So all the neighbors come over and say, "Oh my God, you're so lucky." And of course the farmer says, maybe. So pretty much the whole lesson from this is that no matter whether something looks super good in the moment or super bad, it's probably neither, because that event is just one event that's gonna lead to a series of a bunch more events that could be good or bad. So sure, if you end your timeline at son breaking his leg, yeah, it's bad, but who knows? It just might turn out that tomorrow the army comes by to recruit people and they can't take the son because his leg is broken. And of course, then that's a good thing. And so the whole lesson here is when something seems really bad and you're super upset about it, don't worry about it, because it's literally just an event that is going to lead to a bunch of different events. And the biggest example of this, of course, are breakups. As soon as you go through a breakup, you think it's the end of the world, everything's horrible, you're so sad, but then eventually, sometimes it can end up being the best thing that ever happened to you, and you end up finding someone even better for you. And if you want to hear this story again, you can go ahead and watch this video that's not even out yet. It's my first collaboration, actually, on YouTube. It's with a guy named Nathan Williams. His YouTube channel is A Helpful Earth, and this is a video called Messages of Hope, where he has compiled just tons of different videos. I don't even know how many there are, maybe 20 videos, just short 1 to 2 minute videos of people talking, giving words of hope, words of inspiration. And he's pretty much just mashed them all together in one long video. It's actually just about to come out, and so whenever that does come out, I'll put the link to that in the description below as well. And the last big helpful video slash lesson that I've learned this year was, of course, from my man, Alan Watts. In particular, it's actually 2 specific quotes from this video that I found super life-changing. I think about these seriously almost every day. The first is, "Your quest for peace of mind is the same as having a disturbed mind." I absolutely love this one because I was basically just getting so caught up in all this personal development, spirituality stuff. I was just like, how can I live the best possible life? And I was just literally torturing myself over how to make my life better. And so of course what he's saying with this quote is that literally just the fact that you're so worried about having a better life, it's actually weighing you down and making your life worse than if you just didn't even think about this, if you just stayed present and lived your life. This has taken off so much pressure from me because, like I said, I'm always trying to figure out the best ways to do everything and just live the best possible life. But literally just that exact mission is also what kind of weighs me down, because then I start thinking, oh, I should meditate today. Oh, I should work out. Oh, I should do this, should whatever. And I end up just weighing myself down way more than I need to. Now, of course, it's still important to do these things every once in a while if it's necessary, but don't beat yourself up too much about it, because after all, it is just to make your life better. So don't make it make your life worse. And going off of that quote is the other quote I was talking about, which is, "When you give up looking for the answer, that's nirvana." And that's how Buddhism works. Again, here, he's just kind of saying the same thing. If you're in search of the magical cure that will just make your life better, that's actually what's making your life worse, because you don't realize that right here, right now, you have everything you need and that life is good. And so basically, he's saying enlightenment isn't some place that you need to get to, because if you see it that way, you're never gonna get there. Enlightenment is right here, right now. It can get a little confusing, but that's Alan Watts for you. And now for the bonus tip or lesson or whatever you want to call it that I'm gonna make a video about eventually, I swear. Basically, just picture a Venn diagram, and on one side you have authenticity, and on the other side you have relatability. Basically, this is just a framework of how you should interact with people, whether it's making YouTube videos or talking to people in normal conversation or whatever the case may be. But anyway, the whole point is that there's this whole circle over here of authenticity. This is what is true to yourself yourself. These are the things that you could say or the things that you could do that would be 100% authentic. Authentic. And then over here you have relatability. These are the things that would be completely relatable depending on whoever you're talking to. And of course this requires a little bit of guesswork. But then the reason this is a Venn diagram is because right here in the middle there's that sweet spot where it's the things that are both authentic to you, where you can be 100% yourself, as well as the things that are relatable to the other person or other people. So if you're being 100% authentic, but you're not even relatable whatsoever, then you're just totally, what's the word? Brash? Just think about it as that type of person that's so unapologetically themselves, but they forget that they also should probably try to relate to other people. So in the things that they're saying and the things that they're doing, like for example, telling a joke that's just way inappropriate depending on the audience who they're talking to, sure, they're being 100% themselves. They wanted to say that joke, but it probably wasn't a good idea to say it, but they still did anyway. And then on this side, you have being fake or being a people pleaser because you're only trying to pander to the audience. You're trying to be as relatable as you can, even if it's not something that's authentic to you. Like, I personally don't really watch sports, so if I was just like talking about how much I love sports and the Bucks are my favorite team and all this type of stuff, then I'm being super fake and I'm just trying to be a people pleaser. And so of course you always want to stay right in that middle sweet spot where you are being authentic and true to yourself, but you're also being relatable so people don't think you're a total weirdo. And so there you have it. These are my 5, or I guess 6 biggest lessons that I've learned in my 1 year of consistently making YouTube videos. So if you found this helpful, of course, go ahead and like, comment, do whatever you gotta do. But also, if you're the type of person that's been watching my videos for a while now and you kind of want to show someone about my channel, and you want to tell them, hey, this guy's pretty cool, you should go check him out, then I would suggest probably showing them this video. Or of course, if you have a favorite video, go ahead and show them that one. But my point is, this one was probably the most value-packed because it was 5 of my best videos all packed into one, plus a bonus. So it kind of tells you what I'm all about. And so with that being said, I will see you in next week's video, which is actually gonna be a big one. It's the one that I announced about a month ago about how I was gonna be doing something that I love, like passion projects and things I've been meaning to do for an hour every day for 30 days. And so now I'm finally gonna report on that and tell you how my experience was. And originally I said that would be coming out on Friday, September 18th, but now that I've changed my videos to Monday, it might be on Monday, the 21st or whatever day that is. So yeah, be sure to tune into that one, and until then, peace.